A bad girl at your side. That's a pretty cool song. What's up, guys? It's me, your friend Nuke, back to inform y'all, give you guys some pointers, trade some notes, get us better off with women and in our own lives, right? You guys know who I am. Been doing this for about 6 months now, 5 months, something like that, 5.5 months. You guys can find me on twitter.com, nuclearcaudillo or Caudillo Nuclear. Follow the channel, please. Like and subscribe. I have 600 more watch hours from being monetized. So, gonna start putting in a lot more work into these videos and getting you guys up to speed, right? Um, and then, if you guys need like personalized coaching, hit up my patreon.com nuclear caudillo. If you guys want to donate to the show or you guys want more one-on-one coaching, you can email me at nuclearcaudillo@gmail.com. And what else? Follow me on instagram.com nuclear caudillo, and then twitch.tv nuclear caudillo. So thanks, guys. I'm going to put my link tree into the chat too, and we'll get the show rolling. 1 second, please. All right. All right. So, how you guys doing tonight? Just wanted to talk to you guys tonight about best places for dates, worst places for dates, right? Um, from a kind of like a normie perspective, this is some of the worst advice you'll see online about where to take a girl on a first date. It's kind of ridiculous. It's because like I just saw a Courtney Ryan video just for reference, and she says that like a brunch date or a hiking date or something like that is a good first date. And I'm here to explain to you why not really. Because the way it's the dating market is today, and just the way you have to go about it, like I've said before, you got 48 hours to become an important person in a woman's life, right? Nowadays, right now, obviously, there's kind of different types of scenarios and situations where a girl's attraction can grow slowly for you. Like it could be, you go to a salsa class together, and there's like that plausible deniability where you're just salsa dance partners, and then eventually that kind of like tension starts growing. You dance with another girl, she gets jealous, or work, which you should avoid, but like work over time, she sees you do your thing over the years, over the months, and then she grows attraction for you. But for the most part, when you're dating out there, outside of a social circle, outside of like a work environment, or like meeting women or interfacing with women outside of a work or a social circle environment, you're gonna have to spike emotion. So one of the best way, and the only way right now to spike emotion is intimacy, right? You need to push for that same night, first night lay, second night lay. And I know that a lot of the women, female dating coaches don't like that, and it's okay. It's normal not to want to give away the best advice that will get you, back to a guy's place. They're not going to tell you that, right? They're going to tell you, yeah, take us out on a dinner date, take us to mini golf and all that stuff. But we need to win. We're here to win. We're here to get what we want out of the dating game and get out, right? If it's the long term relationship, spinning plates, whatever you want. So I'm here to discuss the best and worst places to meet women. So let me look at these chats real quick. Spencer says, I am ready. I am also ready. Put me in, coach. You're already in, bro. You're already in. Let me fix this. Jorge says, hold on, let me get the notepad ready. Yes, I even got my own notepad in case I forget points and all that stuff. I always bring a notepad to every show. And we have Kate. How you doing tonight, Kate? Get the watch hours up so we can super chat. Guys, check out my stuff. If you guys have any suggestions for material or any questions about my stuff, just let me know in the comments. We got Alex in the chat. How you doing tonight, Alex? And I think that's everyone for now. But anyway, all right, let's get this started. So on Twitter, we have this slew of advice, from dating, and a lot of the times the most vocal people about dating tend to be like more of the conservative traditional people, or people that are inexperienced, or just female dating coaches. They all have like this advice about where you should take a lady on a first night. And believe me, guys, I've taken them everywhere. I've taken them to every single place almost that you can think of. Obviously, there's new ideas every day, but I can tell you right now, where you take a girl on the first date sets the tone a lot for the next couple weeks when you're meeting a girl. So make sure you know what places you to avoid and what places to go. Right. So I'd say let's start with the best places. Um, and I would say the best place, one of the best places, obviously, is a local bar. Now, let me explain myself. A bar, that's a, it's a big word. Like, what do you mean? What type of bar? Where? How? Um, so one thing you have to do when you're, let's say you move to a new area or you're trying to date, one of the things you have to do is scout. Go out and scout places. And when you're scouting these places, go out and look at how the venue is set up. Like, is there plenty of seating? Is it cramped? Is there a lot of smoking going on? Um, is the music really loud for a Tuesday afternoon? Is it really loud where you can't have a conversation with someone in front of you? Um, or how many bar are they well staffed? Maybe you have to go there by yourself on a Tuesday night and make friends with the bartender. Say, hey, I just want to check out the area. What's good here? Use your social skills, use your mouth, and talk and ask people, hey, um, what's good around here? And kind of like make friends, tip well, so the bartenders kind of like you and all that stuff. So yeah, it's on you to like figure out which venue, which bar is the best place to take a girl. But sometimes you don't have that options, right? So there are other options, but I would say for me, an Irish pub, those are pretty cool, except Irish pubs can get a little loud. The music's really loud. Another thing, now that the summer is here and it's really really hot, you don't want a bar that is not well cooled, like the air conditioning. Make sure that wherever venue you take a girl nowadays on a first date, make sure it's well cooled. I know some chicks are cool, they're like, I don't care about being outside, but it is 100 degrees, and that will definitely hamper your ability to take a girl home on the first night. And that's what we're aiming for, at least first or second night, right? Um, so yeah, there's different themed bars. Like there's bars that are like whimsical and kind of like Disney-esque and more geared towards women. Those are a fun place to take women because it adds that excitement and excitement to the date. For you Dallas bros, and maybe I think Houston, we have Wonder Bar here in Dallas. It's a cool, fun place. There's like the Wheel of Fortune wheel. There's like funny statues. A giant kick that says "Blow Me." The drinks are fun and whimsical. Like it's a place where if you invite a young woman, she would be like, "Oh my god, I'm excited." So yeah, that's always great. They tend to be more expensive, but I mean, it's fun. And also, these places tend to attract more women, so there'll probably be more women around than men. So she'll probably feel more comfortable and more in her element, right? Yeah. So there's also arcade style bars. Like the arcade bars where you got maybe depending on how how arcade like the bar is. Some of them are just full arcades with a bar. Or some of them are a bar with a little bit of arcade games like Pac-Man, shooting the basketball. Um, what do you call it? A bumper? I forgot. Pinball machines. There you go. Pinball machines, stuff like that. That's good. These activities are fun. You get to tease each other and kind of build a little bit of rapport. So those are good. I highly recommend those bars when taking a girl on a first date. Um, Let me see what else I have here. Oh, another good one is a speakeasy. Speakeasy places are pretty cool. They're laid back. Everyone's, the crowd is a very quiet, measured, calm crowd for a speakeasy. And it's like very fancy. So if it's fancy but not super expensive. It is more expensive than most bars, but it's like it's a good place to take a girl on a first date. And if she's like the type of girl that likes to get dressed up and fancy, just look at her Instagram. If she has several pictures where she's out kind of dressed in a nice dress, black dress, then a speakeasy is a great place because you can tell her, hey, that dress that you were in this picture, I think something like that would be, I want to take you here. It's just get to know you. So a lot of girls like that. You're taking the lead and you're setting up an atmosphere. There's candles lit. Like it is good for intimacy and getting to know somebody. So always a great one. And then depending on the weather, I think in Texas is not a good idea right now because it's like 100 degrees every day. But like a brewery is good because it's more very relaxed. There's probably live band depending on the girl. A girl's more like southern cowboy type girl. A brewery is a great place to take her because it's just a really relaxed atmosphere. It's outside. You know, as long as the weather's good and it's in her element, talking. She's talking to you. You're on a picnic bench, and also if you guys have a dog, or a puppy, you know, bring the puppy along as long as the puppy is, you know, kind of well behaved. And it kind of gives you that aura of just like familiarity and relax. Brewers tend to be very relaxed atmosphere, kind of family oriented, but like, you know, the staff is very not usually very nice, and you know, it's a great place. Just make sure a lot of breweries are out in the middle of nowhere, so try to like reconcile that with the distance and all that stuff. So, and if you're gonna bring your dog to a brewery, and make sure it's dog's well behaved and won't interfere with you getting to know the girl, right? But it does help bring in a little animal and all that stuff, right? So, um, yeah. So just make sure, yeah, for any of these places, plenty of seating. The music is not too loud, and then the cooling because it's hot and girls, time, you know, when girls get sweaty, they get self conscious, especially if you're trying to, excuse me, take things back to her place and all that. So, yeah, just make sure that you kind of do your due diligence, go do some work, do the work right, and go find a nice place to meet this person. So yeah, um, second on the list, not in order of what's best, but just another second on the list is the coffee shop slash market. There's now these kind of like markets where it's like they sell coffee, but they also sell salads and kombucha and drinks like health stuff, and then in the back they'll have like kind of groceries and there's one really near where I live where I like to do first dates because they also sell wine, and that's like a little hack that I have, right? So coffee shop's great. Usually you want to do coffee in the morning, like on a weekend, like Saturday, Sunday. I know like most people say, you know, drinks, you know, most Don Juans and players and all that stuff say drinks, 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 right? But sometimes a girl's under 21. You know, as us men, we like our young women, and sometimes younger than 21 girl pops up, so you may have to take her to a coffee shop. Also, sometimes you just only have time on the weekend this week. You're busy. You've got stuff going on. So a coffee shop, a coffee isn't a terrible idea. And also, a lot of the times, how I met like one of my exes, great guy, was that we had coffee, we talked, and since she showed up in a nice dress, and since she was so fun to talk to, and since the date was going so well, I just looked across the street and said, "Hey, you know, that's you want to go have a martini um, before you go?" And then we went and had a martini, and she was my girlfriend for like 7 months. So yeah, it's just guys, you got to think of your feet too. Don't put yourself in a box. I know there's these debates, coffee versus alcohol, ice cream date, blah blah blah, which is the reason I'm doing this because I saw this stupid ice cream post by some undesirable women on Twitter. You know, there's always the ones that are always perpetually single doing this stuff. But anyway, yeah, so make sure that like you're not like boxing yourself in. Kind of think on your feet, use your own brain. You know, like if you're having a coffee date and it's going great, she's giving you IOI, she's touching you, she's laughing, and she's having a good time. Her body language is relaxed. Then go ahead and be like, hey, you want to grab a martini real quick or a Cosmo real quick, next door or across the street? I think you would like this place. And you know, you move on to the date. And you know, when you're in a second place after the first one, it gives the illusion that you're on a second date already. So it drops her guard even more, conducive to you taking her to back to your place. So just something to know. So yeah, coffee shops slash markets, um, very good second option if the drinks don't work. Also, a lot of these places sell wine too. So if you're in the middle of a coffee shop day and you're like, hey, want to grab a glass of wine real quick, you know, like to unwind, you can try that. Obviously, I probably don't know if I will mix well with coffee, but whatever. Um, Now there's here two that I'm on the fence about, but let me hit up these chats and I'll continue. Okay, all right. So salsa classes were awesome to get the fun going. Yeah, I got some. You know, I did a whole show on salsa night. If you guys want to check that out, it's in my one of my live. Just look under my live tab in my YouTube. But salsa classes are good, but there's some things that you have to be careful with when you're taking a girl to salsa. So just Well, I'm about to get into that. It's on my list, but yes, salsa first night date for a salsa is fun. You just there's certain things you have to know, right? We got Spencer, a bar within 10 minutes max from your place. Yeah, if you live in a city and driving, try to get a bar driving distance less than 10 minutes, or just reasonable time, and so you can be like, hey, I live 10 minutes up the road. You give her the plausible deniability. Luckily, I live like in the center of Dallas, so for me, it's 10 minutes walking. I live a 5 minute walk from all the nice bars here. So, I'm like on easy mode for logistics, right? But I chose that spot. I made the sacrifices necessary. But yes, you want to have a place as close as possible to you. Alex says, word of advice in Mexico, do not use the English word bar because it's become synonymous to strip joint. And in Mexico, they do provide extra spicy services. Just saying, here's my unsolicited advice. Hey man, your advice is never unsolicited. We appreciate it. So what do you say in Mexico? Cantina or what do you guys say instead of bar? I'm gonna say cantina, right? Um, Alex says, "Oh man, that's going back on memory lane. Arcades were still somewhat going on back in the late '90s. It was fun times. Yeah, arcades are fun. I had a date at an arcade, but it was a girl I was already had been seeing for a while. And it was fun. We played Mario Kart. There's air hockey. There's the shooting games. There's Tetris. There's all this stuff, and like it's good to like bond with a girl, but like just realize that it is a place where it can be loud as well, and it is a place where it can be, the bar can be really small and there isn't a place to sit. There's not a lot of places to sit sometimes too. Just you got to go out and scout it. At least at a minimum, look at pictures, look at reviews of the place. Do your due diligence as if you're planning a something for your friends or a birthday party. You want to look at the place first, right? Just make sure you have that reconnaissance before you go there. Spencer says speakeasy have insane pool. Brought a chick to a donut shop behind a bookshelf was a speakeasy instant pool. Yeah, man. Yeah, speakeasies. Speakeasies are on the rise. I think after the pandemic they got really popular. I wonder why. But yeah, speakeasy is a great place. It's quiet, it's cool, it's dark, and it's intimate, and it's just it gives like that. You bring a girl in a nice dress because a lot of them have dress codes too. And it's just it's conducive to a nice conversation, nice sexy conversation. So yeah, speakeasy is where it's at, guys. Give it a try. If you can find a good one in your city, um, you know, it just make it your spot. Kate says, when I was single, I had a strict rule of coffee dates only for first meets. 9 out of 10 times, men loved that I wanted coffee, not dinner, and I didn't drink. Yeah, we don't like that you like dinner because we don't want to spend money, especially on something that's not a sure thing. So, yes. Um, Jorge says arcades back then were nice, especially the King of Fighter machines. That's how I met my first GF, and she approached me. Yeah, something about arcades is where like it's very social. People kind of like open up and all that stuff. But yeah, there's a couple of them in Dallas, and they tend to be really fun. But for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of arcades. I get bored. I guess it's all the gaming I do. I kind of need more updated stuff. But like, I love a game of air hockey, and I love some Mario Kart. So yeah, or racing games. Good times. Aaron Martinez says El Antro. I think he's referring to something that Alex said. If it's drinking, it's a cantina, of course. It's mostly a man's place, but a cafe, it's good. Okay. Homeschool time. How you doing tonight, man? Last girlfriend weighed 125 pounds, age 25, 12 years younger than me. Our marriage nearly 17 years now. Great, man. Congratulations. I am mostly congratulations of her weight, man. Congratulations. Like most women, what is the average weight of a woman now? It's like height and weight is 5'4", and she's like 160 something, 67 pounds, which is ridiculous because I'm like 6'1", 185 pounds. So it's like, uh, damn, um, that's crazy. You're like 20 pounds under me, and I'm like, I can bench 225. Like, how is this possible? So Alex says, "El antro, that's a club for dancing fun times." Man, I'm learning new Mexican words like every week. Like dating Mexican women, you find out words, and some of them are so cool and funny. But yeah, I'm learning the lang. I like learn every week. I learn a new Mexican word where like I'm just like I gotta apply it somewhere because you work with I work with Mexicans sometimes, and I date them and I have friends and all that stuff, and I want to surprise them like, oh, I know what you're talking about. So we got Muchaka. I'm gonna pronounce your name Muchaka 90. It sounds cooler. With the way, what's up, man? Aaron Martinez, my friend. Oh, okay, I'm Honduran. I thought it was Antro. Oh, we got Honduras in the house. Easy says Dominican Rolo. You think so? What makes me like Rolo? Is it the mannerisms? Alex says it's all good. I'm Mexican, even though all of us speak Spanish, Castellano, but do not agree in some words. Yeah, but I think Mexico has like cooler words, or maybe I'm just so bored of Puerto Rican and Dominican Spanish. But yeah, Jorge says 170 pounds. Damn, thanks for the clarification. But yeah, women are fat, guys. Like, I could do a whole show, but okay, so I know that everyone is saying, technology is blah, blah, blah. The number one dysregulator of the sexual marketplace is the obesity epidemic, right? If you go to places that have Facebook, that have Tinder, that have Hinge, that have dating apps, that have liberal media and all that stuff, whatever you guys are blame, um, the crappy current dating scene on. If there's a lot of hot people, everyone's getting laid, right? Because like first off, like if you're a guy and you have a hot chick as a girlfriend, you're kind of like set, you're like, okay, cool, she's hot, pretty much set. Also, if you're a girl that's hot but everyone else is hot, you're gonna fight a little harder and be a little bit more a better girlfriend because your guy can get taken away. You have competition, right? And as a guy, um, you're set because your girlfriend's hot. You don't have to like, you're a lot of the itch to go see another girl is kind of satisfied because your girl is just that attractive, and you didn't really have to work that hard for us as opposed to the United States, right? So yeah. Oh, we got Alpha Sloth in the chat. Howdy, Alpha. How you doing? KN is 5'4" at 100, pounds. Shaking. You were definitely an anomaly, right? You are 50 pounds, almost 65 pounds lighter than the average woman at your height. That's insane. Jesus Christ. We got CD Burr in the chat. It's getting really tough to find women who weighs less than 150. Yeah, I'm dating a Latina. I think she's 160, but she's 5'3", but she just has like the curves, man. But even then, like, um, I'll tell her if she ever wants commitment from me, she's gonna have to, I'm not a tyrant. I don't need you to be, I understand that Latina women are curvy and they got, she has it all in the right places, but still, you know, you have to get in a healthy way. It's not even about physical appearance now, it's just healthy, health. So Alex says, funny thing, it took me 1 year listening to Dominicans and Puerto Ricans just to understand their Spanish. Let me tell you, you guys from the island speak too fast. Yeah, Dominicans speak the fastest. And when I speak to Mexicans or any Central Americans, I slow it down on purpose, just because I know that we speak really fast. So Alex Patino says, but I love you lots, guys. Oh, yeah. Dominicans, we're all right. We're not too bad. I do think Mexico, they're God's chosen people. I've never seen a race ethnicity complain so little but have such a crappy hand like Mexico. So kudos to you. And then the women, I mean, it's like 50-50. I know I say like 25% of Mexican women are just like marriage material off the bat, like no questions asked. And then 75% are like the ones born here, kind of American culture, a lot of vapid Mexican women here. But yeah. So okay, we got one more. Alpha Sloth. That booty though. Yeah. I mean, I am a victim of my own biology, so I do like the booty. So all right, so where were we? Okay, so here's an odd one that I discovered recently, and I'm still on the fence on this one, but like dog cantinas, right? So it's like a brewery kind of style, except most of the property is gonna be like for dogs to run around and stuff like that. Now, it is a good place to meet women, like initially, but I'm not sure yet if it's a good place to have a first date. First off, because the weather, You have to deal with the weather. It could rain, it could be super hot, or it could be really muggy. So there's that. Plus, usually at dog cantinas, the drinks and the like the food, the top, the little bar food is pretty terrible. They don't really care that much as a dog cantina. It can get muddy too, if it had rained before. But also, it's like it's a very relaxed atmosphere because there's puppies running around. I think that should be saved for a second or third date if she wants to meet your dog or something like that. If you have a dog or something like that, you know, I don't know. I don't really recommend it for a first date. So yeah. Um, Let me see. Okay, so let's talk about salsa night, right? Near and dear to my heart. I'm sure some of you guys go to salsa night too and have had experience. So please share if you have. But salsa night is a kind of like a place where it's pretty good. But here's some things that have to be in place and something you have to understand. First off, you gotta be a dancer. You gotta know what you're doing on a dance floor, right? You can't just pull up a girl to salsa and while she's seeing all these men that are good at salsa and all these women that are good at salsa, and you're still struggling with basic steps, right? So I would say at least be intermediate level before you consider bringing a girl to salsa. Okay. Um, Number two, realize that in salsa culture, there's this thin line between taking a girl out and then trying to charm her and try to get her number after a dance or something like that. And realize that a lot of men won't care that you came with the girl. She'll think you're friends. He won't ask. There's a lot of aggressive men on the dance floor. So just keep in mind that there will be probably men trying to approach your girl mid conversation because they'll think, oh, there's no way that Nuke can pull that. So there's a lot of jealousy. Um, Realize too, and even the DJ or the guys hosting the class can do that too. Um, if this happens, guys, it's just like a shit test. Just like, hey, go have fun. You need to practice. That's what you say when a girl's being let off. Don't get jealous, right? If she says no, then whatever, cool. That's cool too. Um, Also, a lot of girls don't might not like to dance. They like the idea of dancing, but dancing, it's a physical exertion. You can get sweaty, especially in the warmer months. So keep in mind that, um, you know, it's a sexy thing to do. There's a plausible deniability for contact, physical contact. It can get really passionate at times, but at the same time, you're gonna get sweaty. Your body temperature is gonna go up, and then women feel more self conscious when they're sweaty. So it could limit your chances of taking her home that night, right? Unless it's a very well conditioned place, or the alcohol is taking over and it's just kind of like sweat dancing and it's kind of sexy in that way. But just understand that it could get sweaty and that could be a turnoff for herself. Um, yeah, and then other than that, another thing is that when you're with a girl, you're gonna, a lot of the women that you may frequent and dance with, they could get jealous too. So they might interrupt your conversation with the girl. They might like feel some type of way. Um, they just might act strange because women they're very they're slave to their jealousy. So even though she might not like you that much or just sees you as a friend or a dance partner, she will feel some type of way when she sees competition for you, even though it's been made clear that you're just dance partners or you just come to this place and dance together one or two songs, right? So just keep in mind that there's going to be some feelings because it's like, you know I mean, there's not even another example. You guys know what it is, like the female nature. Sometimes they don't even like you until they see it with another girl. So just keep that in mind. And then the red flags, like if you take her to salsa night and she already knows the instructor or DJ, kind of like, like, hmm. It's like when you take a girl to the gym and she knows all the personal instructors, fitness instructors. You're just like, how does she know all of them? What's going on here? So yeah, just keep in mind those things, and it's a fun place. Usually at salsa nights, the bar isn't that full because everyone's busy dancing. So there's space at the bar to talk and drink alcohol and get some margaritas in or whatever you like, right? And also make sure she's dressed appropriately. Like make sure that for salsa night, a lot of times the best is like not a skirt, not a short skirt because it could fly up and all that stuff when you're doing spin. So Maybe a longer summer dresses are great, but also make sure that she's wearing, maybe jeans, comfortable jeans. Maybe if she's, hopefully she's fit, like a cut off tops where she can, um, be more, get some more, have so many layers and stuff on. So guys, do your due diligence. I know that you can't control every variable, but the ones that you can control it, right? So yeah. All right, I got a couple more chats here. Aaron Martinez says feminism is cancer, has spread all through Latin America and has made the other percentages non-marriage material. Yeah, yeah. There's not much time left, guys. Feminism is infecting Latin America. I've seen it. And with feminism, also thought whole culture, OF culture, sugar daddy culture is very prevalent in Latin America now, or at least more than it was. So there's not much time, guys. So if you're marriage minded and you have your sights set for Latin America, do it now. Like, um, there's not much time left. If you're going to be a passport bro, I think Asia, you have a lot more time. But for Latin America, the time's running out for that. So if you're going to be a passport bro, if you're going to push that button and just get on with it. Now's the time, because soon, feminism is going to take over there. So Alex says, Aaron Clary says, also the Mexican girls born in the USA become suburbanite princesses. Yeah, I'm dating one that's like that right now, and she's a princess. She's these overconfident. I'm super hot. Blah blah blah. I mean, she's great, but she's a princess. So totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Spencer says, I've yet to bring my dog out on a first date. I think it could require too much attention away from her and onto my dog. High energy plus high chance my dog squabbles with another man. Oh, yeah, it's true. Maybe it's because I have like a Shiba Inu and they're super calm and like very like quiet and respectful. So maybe, yeah. Well, if let me back up a little bit. So because I live like right next door to these places, like coffee shop or a brewery or stuff, I bringing my dog's not a big deal, right? But if you have to pack your dog up in a car and drive all the way to a place, unload the dog, and make sure the dog's hydrated. He's your dog, so you're worried. You're gonna be worried about him, and then there's gonna be other dogs that are maybe not as well trained as yours. She may love the dog too, but maybe it's best not. But like for a coffee date, sometimes I can bring Tadashi because he's just so well behaved and quiet. All he does is like he'll yank on the leash a little bit because he wants to like do his thing, but other than that, no. So yeah, think about. I would say try not to bring your dog unless it's like walking distance. And even then, I mean, you don't really need a dog. It's just sometimes it spikes girls' emotions to see you with the dog, and it kind of calms them down, and it gives you like, hey, you want to go back to my place real quick and drop off the dog, and we can go somewhere else. I don't know, but yeah. Uh, my dog is my AVI for context. Yeah, I can see him grinning there. What is it, like a German Shepherd or a Labrador? If you do go to Latin America, you have to go to the villages, not the cities. Yeah, I heard. There's a lot of guys on Twitter they're doing a lot of good work trying to find you guys the best places to go to find a wife or a girl or just for fun. I personally, I probably do like a tier two city. Like I wouldn't do like Dominican Republic. I wouldn't do Santiago or um or Santo Domingo. I'd probably do like I know Puerto Plata is like really touristic, but maybe Puerto Plata or Bani or something right outside of these cities. Maybe a college, university. But same thing with Mexico. Maybe not Ciudad de Mexico, and in Colombia, maybe not Cali, maybe not. But obviously, where else are you gonna? So if it's your first time, you're gonna have to rely on a city because you just lack of experience. But yeah. Aaron Martinez says, "I live in Honduras. I agree. It's cities where promiscuous girls concentrate. Towns and villages are where marriage material girls are. Yeah, but understand too, like what a city girl is in like Honduras, is like probably a conservative girl here in the United States. And correct me if I'm wrong, right? So I think the average guy, like if he goes to Latin America and maybe goes to Ciudad de Mexico or maybe goes to Cali or what's the capital of Honduras, man? I didn't even. Let me put some respect on Honduras name. Let me bring this up real quick. Capital of Honduras. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Tegucigalpa. Jesus. Tegucigalpa. Tegucigalpa. Okay. Tegucigalpa. So yeah, if you go to Tegucigalpa, Cali, Mexico City, those girls, yeah, for the locals might be like promiscuous, but for us, man, like it could be conservative trad girl because American girls are just kind of promiscuous. Even I'm still surprised at this level, at this height in my career, dating career, where I'm just like, man, Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, Alex says in one episode of Red Evening, Rob said he invited a girl to come over his house by inviting her to see his cat. Yeah, we'll get into that. Inviting a girl directly to your place. But let's move on. Tegucigalpa, yeah. Elite class girls are promiscuous, lower class too. Yeah. Guys, you have to really separate the whole social class, job. Like all women are capable of being promiscuous, right? Everything from a concert violinist that I dated to a software analyst to a programmer, female programmer, to church girl, to opera singer, to finance girl, to college girl, to everything. All of them were promiscuous, and all of them went home with me on the first date. Right now, that doesn't mean they're bad people. Right? I can separate their promiscuity from their character, but for the most part, you guys, there is no real way just by looking at her in her life that you can make an assumption that she's not promiscuous. So that's why we say assume she's promiscuous. You'll seldom be disappointed, right? And that's just so you don't get in this, you don't put her on a pedestal, right? Aaron says middle class conservative, but yeah, not Miami tier level. Yeah, Miami, like Miami, any major city, even Dallas. There's some pretty crazy girls out here, and honestly, um, you know, there's a big syphilis outbreak in Houston right now, and it's mostly women. So it's like, why are we not? It's like whenever there's an unfortunate truth which is perpetrated by women, we kind of like brush under the rug. Or we don't care as a society. It's like they're not making a good case for themselves, right? And that's what I said. Like, if you assume every girl's promiscuous, then you use protection, and you don't have to be caught up in like a syphilis outbreak in Houston. But um, we can move on now. All right, so um, okay, I would say also any place where you are like the contextual alpha is a good place. Could be a good place potentially. Like, let's say you're a musician, you're gonna go perform. You can be like, "Hey, I'm gonna perform. You can come see me." You're the contextual alpha. You're the performer, right? So that would be a great place to have a first date because she can see you do you, right? Not every place is good, right? If you're I don't know, if you have a hobby that's like very strange or weird, like like you are the best Yu-Gi-Oh card gamer in your group, you might not want to take her unless she's into that, right? That's another thing. But things that are cool, right? So if you're a musician that's you're gonna go play somewhere, yeah, invite her out to that because you're the contextual alpha. You're proving yourself, but in an appropriate way. You're not like, yeah, look how good I am. You're like, hey, this is what I do for fun, regardless if you were coming or not. I'm still gonna do this. So I would like you to be a part of this, right? And she feels more like a part of your life more than the focus of the night. So pretty cool to do that. Yeah, so any place you can demonstrate higher value, which salsa night is like that, right? But just make sure you come with your A game that salsa night. And if she doesn't know how to dance, just kind of teach her. And this is a good opportunity to lead and be that dominant presence in teaching her. You get to hold her and push her because, especially American women, they're very like stiff when they dance because they don't like being led. You can tell like you got to tell, hey, you need to lower your guard down. You need to relax, and then kind of like push her shoulder, her hips to where they're supposed to go, her hands, and she'll like that. She's like, "Wow, man, finally taking a lead," you know. So yeah, just make sure that you don't touch her inappropriately or anything like that. But it's a great place to just show a demonstration of higher value, right? Um, all right. So, and then my favorite new place that I posted this on my Patreon, but I'm sharing it with you guys, and it's the wine bar, right? The wine bar is just so underrated. It has like all the best things of all the places, right? For example, it's alcohol, right? And it's pretty strong. So, a bottle of wine can get you and the girl you're talking to pretty relaxed, pretty chill, pretty buzz, right? So unless you're a wino and you drink a lot of wine, but yeah, there's alcohol, right? So number two, wine bars tend to be most of the time, excuse me, most of the time be quiet, so it's great for conversation. The crowd that it attracts is not loud, rambunctious college students or loud, drunk guys in their 50s or anything like that, right? Or college chicks or anything like that. It tends to attract like kind of like more calm, relaxed people that just trying to have a nice drink of wine. So volume. They don't really play a lot of loud music at wine bars. Um, it's usually quiet. It's tend to be seen more as a classy joint rather than a bar where you know price like a night of drinks. I on average I've seen that girls drink about 2 to 3 drinks before they call it quits or before they're like, anything above that, you guys are playing the game of having to take care of her. You don't want that. So a bottle of wine is like $35. Usually wine places don't even sell very expensive wine. I mean, there's bottles for like $100, but like, yeah, you're gonna spend $100 initially on a first date. You know, get the cheap bottle, the $35 bottle. Tip well, and then your date is capped off of $50, and you're both having a good time drinking some decent wine. So I like to drink Malbec, and girls usually go for the sweet wines, but if you can always ask her like, hey, you're coming because now I'm choosing this wine. What do you think? Kind of get her excited for the day. Check in like, hey, like, like what kind of wine do you like? Here's something you could do. I'm gonna ask the owner what wines he has. It shows that you care, you're taking the lead, that you're taking charge, and women like that, right? All right. So yeah, wine bar also. What else does it have? It's seen as a classy place, so you're not taking a girl to a rickety old Irish pub or a college bar, or, a sports bar. You're taking her to a wine bar, so it's seen as more classy, so she feels like she's dealing with a kind of a higher caliber man. I know it's not like determines that you're a high caliber man in her eyes, but it's a step in the right direction. So yeah, wine bar is really underrated, and no one's talking about it. But honestly, it's such a great place. Um, and if you're not even a big drinker, you can just order a glass instead. I usually just get the bottle, split it with the girl, and then but be careful if you're gonna order another bottle. Just know that like you're probably gonna be pretty buzzed at the end of the night. So um, make sure that you're pacing yourself. You're drinking water because wine can creep up on you. So yeah, wine bar is great. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but um, wine bar is a great place um, to meet a girl. Honestly, guys, try it out. And like how some girls forget to eat and all that stuff. You can just a lot of wine bars have charcuteries, so you just order a little small $15 charcuterie and get her snacking and eating stuff. It's not enough to get her so full or too full or anything, just so she can shut up about being hungry. So yeah, so guys, those are like the best places that I have for a first date. I know we had things that were kind of in the middle. Salsa night is a maybe. I'm gonna put Dog Cantina into not a good place, even though it's a good place for a second date or if she's trying to meet her dogs or something like that, meet your dogs or something like that. But for the most part, like most the best is the wine bar so far I've had, and it's not only like success, it's like how I feel about I'm sitting out on this small little European style chairs and table outside. There are plenty of shade trees, and it's all the locals, and it's just a really relaxed atmosphere. It gets you talking. The wine gets you talking. It's classier. You're pouring her wine and all that stuff. She feels like she's in a classy place. Same like a speakeasy or something like that. So yeah, wine is the best for now. It could change, but guys, give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. Even and bonus if it's within walking distance. Um, all right, let's talk about the worst places. But first, I want to try this new little commercial I made. Here we go. Like and subscribe, guys. Um, so I tend to forget that I have what do you call it? All these sound effects, but I really can't use them. Like I don't have a. Anyways, so yes, worst places. What are the worst places? Okay, worst place will always be dinner. I don't know how many times we got to talk about this on Twitter, on social media. How many women, perpetually single women, constantly either flex or complain that men don't take them to dinner, and I'm just like, this is 2023. Like, why would I take you to dinner? Now, there are some guys, like I have friends that do take women out to dinner, but these are high level advanced guys. These are guys that are super attractive, that know their way around women. They know when it's appropriate and they know when they have that like deep kind of like attraction initially before they even meet. You know, this could be times where like women fetishize you. Like if you're a tall 6'4" white guy and you meet a 5'3" Asian girl with, in tech, women like that really like tall white guys, tall, handsome white guys, right? So she's probably gonna be very attracted to you initially physically, and then all you gotta do is be a smooth guy in the DMs, and then she's gonna be like nearly obsessed with you, right? So that's when you can kind of be like, hey, you want to grab some sushi? I'm hungry, and it could work, right? But for the most part, for us, other people, um, avoid dinner at all costs. Like, and then if a girl on her profile or kind of tells you, "Hey, I only do dinner dates on the first date," that's a gold digger, or not a gold digger, but she's wasting your time, right? That's a filter. No dinner dates is the ultimate filter for dating, and it's great because your job as a man isn't to feed a girl and just to feed her. That's something that she has to earn. Don't take away the privilege that a girl has to earn your love, your resources, all that stuff. They want that. So they want that challenge. So don't take it away from her. Dinner, and also when you eat dinner, you're spending lots of money. She can order the most expensive things. She can order drinks. She's on the phone, probably bragging to her friends about, oh, he took me to dinner. It doesn't build attraction. Usually you're far away from her on the table. You're eating. Eating isn't a sexy activity. And you're full. Like no one wants to have sex after a full stomach. So no, dinner's out of the question. No matter what dating advice people give you, especially women, dating is out of the question unless you are a high level advanced guy who knows his way around women like really well, right? And even me, I don't like to do that stuff because it's just I feel like a I feel like a dork taking a girl out to dinner, I it feels much better when it's a girl that's completely in your frame earning it. It feels so much better, feels like authentic, right? But when I pay dinner for a girl that I don't even know what her intentions are, then I just feel like a dork, I'm like, wow, I should have just taken my brother out or a friend out to dinner. I would have felt better, but I'm taking out this girl who after this date, I could probably never see her again. So guys, dinner out of the question. Um, and even as a second date, try to avoid it. Um, unless she's completely a pleasure to be around. You got laid the first night. She's in your frame. You get that deep conversion after the first night. She's in your DMs constantly. She wants to see you anyway, anyhow. You can be like, hey, let's go grab some sushi, or hey, I want to try this restaurant. You should come, right? And there are girls like that. And um, you know, you put it down in the bedroom. You have a great first date. Um, you show her you're the man. She's gonna like fall for you. She could fall for you the first date pretty fast. So second date could absolutely be dinner. But like if you have some doubt, if you feel like you haven't made enough leeway, save the dinner date for when she earns it. right? And she'll appreciate that subconsciously. Another bad place is, you guys might not agree with this, especially you outdoor people, guys that like to do outdoor activities, is outside activities like sports, hiking, all that stuff. The problem with this is like you get sweaty, you can get hurt. I've seen girls on profile. Oh, yeah, my worst date fails. I fell while hiking on a first date, and I twisted my ankle. It's just like now you're walking her to the hospital, right? Because she got hurt on a sports or hiking activity. Um, the thing also with outside activities, it's subject to the weather. It can cancel because of rain. It can cancel because of extreme heat. It can cancel because, I don't know. It could be muggy outside, wet. So I know like there's people that live in like Colorado where like everyone does outdoor activities because that's just the culture there. Maybe that can work there, but like in places like Texas, Miami, like Florida and stuff like that, you don't want to be outside on a first date. Like the purpose of a first date is to talk and get to know each other, not to do activities. So I know a lot of people like to do this stuff on a first date or even a walk, right? Um, a walk. mm, I like to walk if like we're like if I'm like kind of like buzzed and I'm like, let's walk this off a little bit and then walk to the next bar, right? But for the most part, outside activities, leave that for like when you get to know her better. Say that for your girlfriend or for a girl that you really like. Um, something you want to stay away from things that are like commitment heavy. Things that if once you start, it's really hard to get out of. So like things like snowboarding, hiking. What if you're halfway through a trail, you're like, this girl's crazy, or I hate this person, or this person sucks, or she's a catfish, or whatever, or she has bad breath, or whatever. You're stuck. You're on a hike. So leave those for when you know the girl a little better, and chances are she's not going to she's already proven herself as a normal person. um so yeah, avoid things that are commitment heavy. Another one you should avoid is the cutesy dates. What do I mean by cutesy dates? Like the mini golf, going to the park and having a picnic. um I don't know, the paint night, pottery, all that stuff. Guys, just go for the drinks if you can, because um you're trying to the thing with alcohol is that it's like sex fuel, right? It gets people their inhibitions down. Women work, they work long hours, they're tired, they're exhausted, they're like burnt out, but a little bit of alcohol will get a girl relaxed. A lot of them are wrapped around the axle, so you know um it'll calm them down or get them talking. But like imagine a girl goes to a place like mini golf and she's stressed from work. You think you're gonna be enough you're a random guy. You also add stress to the table because she had to get ready for you. She doesn't know you either, right? So why not um a place like a bar or something where it's just simple, where it's just sit down, talk, and drink, and that's it. Make it simple for her, and then as time goes on, and you get to know her better, then you can be like, hey, let's do mini golf. You're not a crazy person or actually like being around you, right? So avoid these cutesy dates. I know someone in the chat said ice skating. Absolutely not. Ice skating, because even if you're a good ice skater, she could not be. So half the time you'll be picking her up. And I know that gives you an excuse to like lead and dominate, but like, where's the talking? You know, where is the demonstration of higher value besides you know how to skate? You know, where's you telling her stories? Where's the kino escalation, all that stuff, right? So think about these things when you're choosing a venue, places that allow you to do, to talk to her, to game her, to find out her background, to get to know her, to disqualify her as a long-term commitment, possible long-term commitment, or whatever, right? So yeah, so cute dates, mini golf, parks, farmers market. Avoid farmers market too. Okay, come on, like what are we gonna do? Buy fruit? That's nothing sexy. There's nothing sexy about buying fruit. That's like married man at 40, right? The point is to do sexy activities. I know, a lot of the female dating coaches and the girls online are like, no, I love those dates. I'm like, yeah, but like I don't know you. Those dates are only fun for a guy if he likes the girl. I don't know if I like you yet, right? So it is what it is. One of the other terrible places, the club. Club is like one of the worst places to take a girl on the first date. It's loud, It's packed. You may have to wait in a line, or you have to pay the bouncer to get in. The drinks are overpriced and they take forever to make. The music's too loud. It literally is not made conducive for any of that. Now there are some bars that are like turn into clubs at night, so be careful if you're at a bar and all of a sudden they're putting up the chairs and moving everything out the way and the music turns up. I know maybe if the girl is like, in a good mood and you're feeling the day, she may want to dance with you or maybe groove a little bit. But for the most part, clubs are just terrible. There's absolutely terrible for a first date. I'd only go to a club if I know the girl very well enough, where we've already been hooking up a little bit, and I like being around her, and it's just a fun night, right? But for the first date, absolutely not. No, don't go to a club at all. Um, Let me see. And oh, here's another one. Don't try to avoid activities where you would meet her family and friends on the first date, right? So let's say you meet a Mexican girl, she invites you to a carne asada or a quinceañera. Don't go. Like, suggest something else, because there's nothing less sexy than meeting her parents. It really sucks the sexiness out of the air. It's just, you're gonna be on edge because you're meeting her parents, her brother, her family. You're skipping steps here, right? So anything that involves friends and family, and then your friends, is also a lot of pressure on her if she's meeting your friends. So try to avoid friends um, at all on the first date. Anyone that just you have to. It's like you're trying to isolate each other to get to know each other, right? And if you keep letting these outside factors, whether it be weather, whether it be possible injuries, loud music, and even then, if you go through all that, what about your mood? Your mood, like I go to a club and clubs make me moody, right? Because I'm getting bumped into, people are bumping into me. The drinks are expensive and crappy, and you know, just people are the worst at a club. So it's like it puts me in a bad mood. It makes me not want to talk to anyone. So now I have a girl I have to entertain. So think about these things. Um, when you are looking for the worst, or looking for a place to meet a girl for the first time. Um, yeah, so family, friends, no first date. And then another place, oh, terrible first date is the gym. Why would you want to meet at the gym? Is the gym a place where people go to talk? I mean, obviously people talk at the gym, but like it's not a one-on-one. You're out there, there's lights everywhere. Obviously you're probably, if you have a gym day, you're probably super jacked and attractive, and she probably is too. But still, like, it's just cringy. Like, it's a masculine activity. Why would you want to meet someone at the gym? Like, it doesn't make sense. Is the gym conducive to a private sexy conversation? No. It's say the gym, go to the gym with your boys and maybe your girlfriend, but don't go to the gym just to meet. Like, don't do a gym date. I know a lot of profile dating profiles now. Girls are like, oh, let's do it. I want to do a gym day. I'm like, no, no, no. We're going for drinks. Fuck that. So, yeah, the gym is not a great place. And that's all I have for worst places. I know there's other worst places. And I know someone mentioned that getting a girl back to your place on the first date. Now, if you have the game and the outcome independence for that, sure, try it. Just know most women aren't comfortable with that, with going back to your place. It takes a lot of, you know, you're walking a tightrope there, and also, you have to be like outcome independent. If you don't care if the girl, you know, if you don't care if the girl ever talks to you again after that, after you asking her back to your place initially, then you're fine. Go ahead, give it a shot, right? Have some really good plausible deniability. Hey, I want to cook for you. Hey, meet my puppy. Hey, I want to play piano for you, whatever. Um, but other than that, man, good luck. It's not something you should be your primary. But if you don't care about the girl at all, like you don't outcome independent, give it a shot, man. Hey, it's worked for me here and there, but for the most part, I like to grab drinks, and also I don't like strangers in my house that I don't know. I want to at least know how you look, how you act, whether you're crazy, whether you're capable of, doing something crazy first before inviting a girl out back to my place. So yeah, that's my thing with inviting a girl back to my place on the first date. But yeah, let's catch up on these chats. Let's see. All right. Spencer says something about wine just hits right. Seldom drink it, but every time I do, things just go in my favor. I'll have to try that next. Yeah, give it a shot. I know as men, we don't really go out together and drink wine outside of Europe, right? But excuse me. But yeah, it's a great first date option. It just clicks on it just checks a lot of boxes for a good first date venue. Alex says any Moscato is great, sweet with little bubbles, and can range from cheap to expensive. Yeah, girls love Moscato, so Moscato is great. Ocean Man says, I say the worst first date locations are when a lady's attention is diverted to something other than you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, um, you want that privacy and that isolation, right? It's how it works. Like, you can't. Female psychology has not changed in thousands of years. So, when you guys take her to places where there's a lot of things going on other than you, then you're running the risk of her like not being entertained or just being distracted, right? Alex says another advice: do not eat spicy foods or too salty, like us Mexicans tend to do. It messes with your taste buds and makes wine not enjoyable by taste. So no spicy or too much salt. Yeah. Um. Usually I don't really eat with wine. Maybe I'll have red wine, Malbec with steak. For the most part, I don't really eat with wine. But yeah, that's a good tip. Dan Smith is like, yeah, you don't want to be a foodie call. You don't want to be a foodie call because, yeah, it's just embarrassing. So dinner or movie as a first or second date, as a first or third date as a non-pro. Yeah, you want to avoid dinner or a movie. Yeah, movie's terrible too because there's no talking during a movie. So unless you're a pro, unless you're a Chad, a pro, you know your way around women. You've been doing this for a while. You don't want to do this dinner stuff. And even then, as a lot of guys that are pros are just like, fuck that. I'm still not taking her to dinner. Fuck that. I'm just gonna take her to drinks. I'm already full, or I don't want to eat. I'm tired of eating out. So yeah. So Aaron Martinez says, yeah, movies is the worst, but yeah, because there's no talking at all. You just watch a movie and that's it. You know. Goes double for Mexican food. Yeah. Alex says townhouse crackers and mild cheese are the go-to snacks when drinking wine. If you want to improve your wine taste experience, allow minimum 1 week of not eating spicy, salty foods. Man, you know a lot, man. Did not know that. Spencer says my buddy took a chick to the club, not a bar, on the first day. I think that's got to be up there with one of the worst places. Yeah, like I was saying, club is one of the worst. It is the worst. Um, Alpha Sloth says, for me, it's stupid loud places, but it can work if you go to a show and then somewhere chill after. Plus, it helps time dilation, comfort, and familiarity. Yeah. Oh yeah, for here's another one. A concert. Concerts are not good, especially like a punk rock concert, because um it's just loud. There's people bumping into you. There's something distracting the girl outside of you. Which is the performance. So like, why would you take it to a place like that on a first date? It's literally stupid. Um, but I will say there is this concept where like if you're busy, but you're like, hey, I'm going to this concert. You want to come with? I'm there. Like you're going anyway, and if she wants to show up, you know that's a strategy because you're doing something you like, you're in a familiar area, probably know people, so you can say, hey, if you want to show up and be my date, that's on you. I'm gonna go anyway, right? You could use that. But if you're planning a date, don't go to places where that are loud, or where that are not conducive to a private one-on-one conversation. Spencer says, spot on. Took a chick hiking on a first date back in the day. Terrible idea. I was hungover from the night before. Was hot as hell that day. Halfway through the hike, I knew I fucked up. Yeah. And you're tired and, you know, you're heaving. Unless you hike a lot, it's going to take a lot out of you. Hikes are surprisingly a good exercise. So, Alpha Slaw says the trail walking on Mel City route at the toughest. Plan short cutoffs for potential exits in case she's out of shape or you're not into her, or vice versa. Yeah, like Katy Trail here in Dallas has a couple stops where you can go to a bar or you can, but even then, you're running the risk of like getting trapped on a trail or trapped in an activity with a person that you hate that turned out to be fat, ugly, all these things, right? So, so yeah, um, it's very risky to do those things, right? So, um, I don't think I have much else for you guys. Just remember to like and subscribe. Wait, hold on. I left a comment up and it blocked the. Hold on. Okay, now, guys, remember to like and subscribe. So, yeah, uh, I don't really have much else. You guys, pretty much the concept is somewhere that's conducive to um, a nice private conversation where it's not hot, where it's not muggy, it's quiet, and that would make a good first date. And then alcohol, if she drinks, is a plus. It's almost a must, right? Because women are very wrapped around the axle these days. They're very like they're tired from work, they're stressed. So a little bit of alcohol will calm them down and bring them back down to earth a little bit and um, give you a good conversation, right? Other than that, guys, I really don't have much else. Thank you for tuning in on a Monday. You guys know where to find me. I already I have my link tree in the chat. You guys know where to find me. It's been real. If you guys have any video suggestions or any other places where you think is a great or terrible place to bring girls, please comment below, like the video. And guys, I am 600 more watch hours or 500 more watch hours from monetization. So if we can get there earlier than later, I would appreciate it. Thank you guys for your support. And I am out.
When you're lonely, am I ever on your